Ding dong, Ivy's gone. Hey y'all, hey, welcome to the next episode of the Deep Dive with Toya Creates. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, and we are going to get into the bold and the beautiful. But first, if you like content like this, please like, comment, follow, share, subscribe. I would love to chat with you guys about what you find interesting in these storylines. So, per usual, let's just get into it. So, we had a little bit of variety today. We saw Bill and Katie, and we have not seen them in a few weeks. I think since the fashion show preview that went all the way off the rails. But I digress. So we open with we're in Logan and we see Bill and Katie. They are preparing for the actual fashion show. Yes, using Eric's designs, whatever. I don't care. And so, them and the staff are just getting prepared. One question already. Let me just start with this. I don't understand why Deke has not been hired yet. Remember when Deke and Katie had a little conversation at Il Giardino and she was talking about how bad it was or how unfortunate it was that Deke was released from Forrester in favor of you know who and how he's available, but that was months ago, but whatever. So Bill and Katie are getting ready for the fashion show and Katie is just visibly zoned out to the point where Bill has the rest of the staff and the models leave so he could talk to his wife, have a good old one-on-one. And so he asks Katie, what is going on? It can't be the designs because they are great, and we're ready in that regard. So what is bothering you? So Katie talks about, of course, she is still upset about the Brooke thing. She's like, basically, she supported Brooke all of her life. And the one time it's time for Brooke to reciprocate that support, she simply cannot do it. So Katie is still upset about that. And Katie began talking about being concerned for Will, who is their son, and he is still at Forrester. She is concerned with how he will be treated since Brooke and Ridge and RJ are furious at Katie and Bill, claiming that they stole these designs from Eric and it's not right. So Katie is concerned there. She is also concerned about Will and Bill's father-son relationship because Bill is just like, well, for the designs, you shouldn't have to worry about that. They're great. You don't worry. Two, for the Brooke situation, he was like, she's just jealous. I agree. I think Brooke is jealous when the attention is not 100% on her. Let's move on. So Bill said that. And then in terms of Will, Bill is a little bothered that about how Will feels about the design gate with Logan and Eric because Will chewed them out a little bit, but Bill got him together real quick as a father should, because who were you talking to and whatever. We didn't steal anything. But, Bill is a little upset about that, but he thinks things will blow over. And he thinks that Will is just sticking it to his old man, basically. Going to work for that dressmaker. And Bill hates the thought that his son will always be second best to RJ over there. And Bill wants his son to come work at his family company. And I agree. I'm going to need Will to leave these fickle Forresters alone. You don't need their charity. You don't need their paycheck. There are several things I'm sure you could do at Spencer. And I don't even know what Will's title is at Forrester, truth be told. We know he started as an intern, but then what was the end game? I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, that's basically it for Bill and Katie. And, of course, Katie responds to everything that Bill says, and she just doesn't want any more like issues or anything. She's just Katie wants peace, while she also wants to be in control of her life, in control of her fashion house, and enjoy this great opportunity for herself as she should. And that's basically all we got from the Spencer. So I hope we see this fashion show tomorrow. So, Alexa's trying to tell me something. So moving on, we see RJ and Daphne in the showroom. Yes, the showroom. And they're just preparing for something, obviously. And oh my God, today I am so sick of RJ talking about Electra and how unfair. Me. God, he acts like she's the only person who works at Forrester. I'm so sick of it. Oh, it's so unfair what she has to do. Girl, go to work. You come here to work. Don't nobody want to hear all of this, but whatever. RJ's talking to Daphne about all of it, and he says, I'm sure you're unaware of the other things going on, but it's really not my place to tell. And Daphne was like, just so you know, I know a lot more than you think I know about this Electra situation. And Daphne just leaves the room. No context, no nothing. Okay. So RJ's like, all right. And then we see him on the phone with someone making some plans, but we don't know what those plans are at that moment. And we will come back to that a little later. And so, the huge part of today. My dreams came true, and Ivy is out of there. So, we pick up in the Forrester office with Ivy, Electra, Will, Brooke, and Ridge, okay? We left off yesterday with Ivy trying to justify her actions and Will just putting her on blast. So now, Ivy is continuing to fight for RJ and Electra, completely sidestepping what she did because she feels she was right because Will was not proper. I swear to God, if I hear not proper again, Ivy was still doing the same thing she's been doing for weeks, and it was pissing me off. And so Will had enough, okay? Ivy kept going. Electra was saying her piece. Will was like, look, Brooke and Ridge, Ivy did this. What are you gonna do? It's giving, I need the managers are here. Will was not gonna let that slide, and I don't blame him because what Ivy did was completely out of line, and the fact that she just doubled down on zero remorse was pissing me off. Anyways, so Will basically demanded that Ridge and Brooke do something about this. Like, you heard what she said, she admitted it, this is what happened, what do you think of this, and what are you going to do? So after Electra just continues to talk to Ivy about it and just explain, like, I really trusted you and you broke my trust, and I am like, I don't know where we're gonna go from here. It was at that point that Ivy finally shows an iota of remorse. She's like, you know what? I apologize for hurting you, Electra. That was never my intent. I love you so fiercely. I was just trying to protect you. Clearly I was mistaken there. But, however, period, whatever, however, comma, please don't go back to Will. Oh, my God. So, at least she apologized, right? Okay. So then Will and Electra leave the office and they go talk separately. And we will get back to that as well because, child. Okay. So then Ivy's in there with Brooke and Ridge, and they are just like, They told her point blank that she overstepped. Um, and she did not handle this the right way. They could appreciate her wanting to protect her niece, but they were like, this was not it. And Ivy's still trying to explain a little bit, but she can read in between the lines, okay? She was the one who was like, well, I guess I overstayed my visit this time. And Brooke and Ridge were like, you did. And they assured her that they would watch over Electra. Electra's going to take over the jewelry line because Ridge was like, you said she was ready. She's doing excellent work because basically, Ivy, you got to go. He didn't say that, but he said everything but get out. And Ivy was picking up what Brooke and Ridge were putting down, and she was just like, y'all got it. Guess I'll see myself out. So basically, Ivy has been relieved of her services at Forrester Creations, and I am ecstatic. Finally. Okay? Yeah, it was an emotional moment. Ivy truly thought she was doing what was right, but no, girl, you weren't. It was control, like Will said, and you deserve this. The same traps you were trying to set for Will and Dylan got your ass, and I love it. So, Ivy says her goodbyes to Brooke and Ridge, and she says she will leave, but this isn't the last they've seen of her, and she will be back. Now, the real life actress, I wish her all the best. I'm sure it's time for her to go on maternity leave. I hope and pray she has a safe, healthy, happy delivery. But I am so glad Ivy was reprimanded and given the boot. Loved it. So, that is what happened with Ivy. Praise the Lord. So then we go back to Will and Electra, and this was my fear with these writers. Now, again, we've seen Will and Electra this week kiss at least twice, express their love to each other, talk about their future, all for these children to continue to harp on, well, we do love each other, but we can't forget about what happened with Dylan. And he said, I can't forget about what happened with RJ. I mean, do y'all want to be together or not? I am sick of it at this point. They are both pissing me off. I thought they were reconciled. Clearly, I was wrong. So they have that conversation. And apparently, RJ messages Electra because then we see her walking into the showroom. Now, remember, I said RJ was on the phone with someone setting something up. He has this lovely dinner with all of Electra's favorites. Plus, he has gotten a special order of these lemon bars from crazy Aunt Pam. And he has it all set up. And he's like, oh, you want to have dinner with me? And Electra was like, well. So then she starts telling RJ about what Ivy did. Remember that letter I was talking about, RJ? And RJ's like, yeah. And she's like, Will never saw it. And we were manipulated. And we were purposely kept apart. So RJ's panicking because RJ wants his fake cousin so bad. So bad. So he asks Electra, okay, so where do things stand with you and Will? Why does this girl say, I don't know? I mean, you've been crying over this man for weeks. You have given him ultimatums. Even when y'all allegedly broke up, you were still in his business, asking him what he was doing with Dylan, this and that, while you were out philandering with RJ. And then you have the gall, the nerve, the gumption to sit here and say you don't know. Now I'm like, okay. I don't think Will and Electra are going to end up together because okay. That's basically where we end. We end with that and with RJ begging Electra to please not go back to Will. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be so upset if they do this, but I feel like they're going to do this and they are not going to be together at the end of the day after all of this drama and saga. Oh, one more thing about Ivy. Let's go back a little bit. I did not appreciate how Ivy tried to throw Daphne under the bus when she was trying to save her ass. She was like, well, Daphne had no business telling you what she did. And Electra said, thank God Daphne did, because I needed to know the truth. Thank you, Electra. At least you did that right. Because Daphne is not going to catch no strays behind this. Ivy, you were wrong. Anyway, she's gone. Moving on. So, yes, that was the gist of what happened in The Bold and the Beautiful today. Do you think Will and Electra will end up together? Because at this point, I think they won't. Because if they are not back together now, after all of this, I don't understand why they can't just move beyond, oh, you kissed Dylan, oh, you kissed RJ, and just move on. But let me know what you guys think. And I will see you tomorrow for Friday's cliffhanger. Like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next.